Dexter Lumis' storyline with The Miz is continuing, so we'll see what the latest is there. We'll also check out another rumored return and what Triple H had to personally say about some names that are floating around. Let's start things off with a new report about another potential big return for WWE. Reports started going around in the middle of the week that Braun Strowman is back with WWE and will be backstage at Raw. Braun Strowman is a name that fans and reports have been mentioning for several weeks now, and it looks like the guesses and rumors were true. Strowman could be back to WWE. Strowman first stepped foot into the WWE main roster scene as the fourth and last member of the Wyatt family. His massive presence and how he just towered over everyone instantly captured everyone's attention. He stayed with the Wyatt family for a while until he broke off and went solo. Braun Strowman actually had a great run there in 2017-2018, where it seemed like WWE was fully behind him. He was feuding with Brock Lesnar, Big Show, Roman Reigns, and all of these other big names on the roster. Then in 2020, when WWE's Universal title plans fell apart, with Roman taking his hiatus, Braun Strowman was Vince McMahon's first pick to step up to take Roman's role and become Universal World Champion. Strowman would end up carrying the title for a few months until he lost it at SummerSlam to Bray Wyatt. And then Roman took over a week after that year's SummerSlam. Braun Strowman was then sprinkled in here and there into several programs and stories following that loss. He feuded with Retribution for a bit, was involved in the Raw Underground project, and even feuded with Shane McMahon. But shortly after that Shane McMahon feud, Braun Strowman was shockingly released from the company. And that move just shocked everyone, because you're talking about a former world champion, a near 7-foot man with a lot of athleticism and agility. Fans just thought WWE would always have a spot for talent like that. But apparently, they felt like there wasn't anything more that they could do with him, so he was released. Braun Strowman returning to WWE didn't seem likely until most recently. Strowman's name was all over reports as a name that was allegedly being discussed internally for a return over the last month. Then now, just a few weeks later, word comes out that Strowman will be at Raw and is on his way back. So if that's true, there's even more depth for the men's division. Fans have discussed in the past that the problem with Braun Strowman in WWE appeared to be that WWE just didn't know how to properly book and use a man of his size. Braun Strowman was just naturally this monster of a man, so fans felt like WWE struggled to find an opponent that was realistic and worthy enough of sharing the ring with him. So that was the fans' theory on why he was released. Similar to someone like Brock Lesnar, there's only a handful of superstars that can stand with Braun in the ring and have it look believable. But if Braun Strowman is back, maybe Triple H is bringing him back with a purpose and an idea in mind. So that's another former world champion that could be back on the main roster. Speaking of Braun Strowman and rumored WWE returns, Triple H recently sat down with BT Sport for an interview that covered several topics. During that interview, Triple H was asked about several more former names that are floating around, and shared his thoughts on the individuals. When asked about Sasha Banks, Triple H said that the time will tell, and how the main issue there with that situation was a communication breakdown, and how everything just fell apart there for whatever reason. When asked about Braun Strowman, Triple H said that he's a polarizing person at times, but how he's an amazing athlete. When asked about Bray Wyatt, Triple H praised Bray for being one of the most crazy creative people he's ever met. He said that Bray Wyatt has all these creative ideas, but he compared it to a tornado. He has all these ideas all over the place. He just needs someone to help him take those creative ideas and just put them all together and guide him. So a majority of fans are just hoping that we see at least a few big returns from that list of names that have been going around for a few weeks. Hopefully Triple H is sitting on even more unexpected surprises that we could start seeing any week now. The storyline between Miz and Dexter Lumis took a bit of an unexpected turn last week. We previously saw Dexter Lumis drag The Miz out of the arena, and that segment ended there. So everyone assumed that The Miz was probably being held captive, and how he would probably follow that story up around The Miz's disappearance. But that wasn't the direction that they went with. The following week on Raw, The Miz appears walking backstage, as he normally would, but definitely a little more spooked. The Miz refused to talk about where Dexter took him and what he showed him. He didn't share any details of what went down after that last moment that they were seen together. It was also revealed that The Miz refused to press charges, which led to Dexter Lumis' release from police custody within the storyline. The Miz was spooked at the thought of the sight of Dexter Lumis all night long on Raw. The Miz catches a few glimpses of Dexter both backstage and during his match on Raw. After his match on Raw, The Miz goes to flee the arena right away, and after he drives away, the camera pans out to show that Dexter Lumis was in his car. So again, it's a very intriguing storyline, but it's hard to tell exactly where it's going, which isn't a bad thing at all. It's fun to have a slightly unpredictable storyline direction like this. Of course, us, the audience, have no idea what happened between Dexter and The Miz in the car after they drove off. Did Dexter Lumis reveal his presence to The Miz inside the car? Did he show him something? Made him drive somewhere? We just don't know. But all those questions are valid questions until we get the actual answer themselves. So it's now clear that Dexter Lumis is both haunting and stalking The Miz all at the same time. Whatever he did or showed to The Miz after dragging him out of Raw a few weeks ago definitely got into The Miz's head. The real mystery here is that we obviously don't know what Dexter is after yet. Is he just stalking The Miz because that'll be his first main roster feud? Or is there a deeper reasoning and story behind him coming after The Miz? There's one theory that's been out there that connects everything going on between The Miz and Dexter to Bray Wyatt. The only person to really stalk The Miz in the past was Bray Wyatt. Just a few years back, Bray Wyatt was finding ways to sneak his puppets into The Miz's daughter's room. So it's not the first time that The Miz has gone through this sort of scary stalking storyline. But fans are wondering if there's any connection between this current storyline and the old story with Bray Wyatt. The part where this story sort of falls apart is with Bray Wyatt. What reason does he really have to come after The Miz for? He already beat The Miz all those years ago and settled that, so it doesn't make much sense at all to come after The Miz again. So it'll be interesting to see where this story ends up going after all, but we'll continue to follow it. But what are your thoughts on all of today's stories with Braun Strowman, Dexter Lumis, and Bray Wyatt? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.